Why the Ethiopian Bibles? Hidden Truths Shocked. The Western World. Imagine, for a moment, the discovery of an ancient Bible so untouched by the passing of time that it holds truths long buried by history. This Bible is not merely a text, but a revelation, a profound spiritual artifact that has remained shielded from centuries of colonization and theological manipulation. Its power lies in its unaltered form, and its secrets are such that they send ripples of unease through Western theological circles. This is the Ethiopian Bible, a sacred scripture that has stood the test of time for over 1,400 years. But why is this Bible feared in the West? What hidden knowledge does it contain that caused it to be suppressed, dismissed, and hidden from the broader world? The answers are startling, and they force us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about Christianity and its origins. At the heart of this remarkable text lies a revolutionary truth: the depiction of black religious figures, including none other than Jesus himself. It is not just a challenge to the Eurocentric view that has dominated religious narratives for centuries, but a redefinition of the spiritual and historical landscape of Christianity. The Ethiopian Bible dares to present a narrative that places African people at the center of sacred stories. It contains forbidden knowledge that has the potential to radically shift our understanding of spirituality, human history, and the role of black people in both. The Ethiopian Bible opens with an astonishing revelation, a depiction of Jesus as a man with dark skin, a stark contrast to the image so carefully cultivated in Western art and theology. This depiction, along with other black figures, strikes at the very heart of the Western narrative, which has long portrayed biblical characters as white. The discomfort this caused in the West cannot be overstated. It is no surprise, then, that whispers of its existence were kept quiet, and its pages were labeled as forbidden. The uniqueness of the Ethiopian Bible extends far beyond skin color. This sacred text, which predates the King James Bible by nearly 1,000 years, includes books that Western Christianity deliberately excluded, texts like the Book of Enoch and the Book of Jubilees. These books contain profound teachings on topics such as cosmology, the hierarchy of angels, and the nature of divine justice. The revelations they offer about humanity's origins and the relationship between the heavens and the earth were deemed too dangerous for inclusion in the Western biblical canon. Why? Because these teachings challenge the sanitized, controlled narrative that has been propagated for centuries. They threaten the status quo and undermine the power structures that have shaped Christian doctrine in the West. For over 1,400 years, the truth contained in the Ethiopian Bible lay dormant, buried deep within Ethiopia, while the rest of the world received a version of Christianity that erased its African roots. The very notion that Jesus, revered by billions, could have been a man of color, and that this depiction has been systematically hidden, sends shockwaves through the soul. It feels like a betrayal of the deepest kind, as if something sacred has been stolen. Yet, here we are, standing on the edge of rediscovery, realizing that the truth was not hidden because it was false, but because it was inconvenient. The origins of the Ethiopian Bible tell a story of remarkable independence. Christianity was brought to Ethiopia in the 1st century A.D., and it flourished without the influence of Roman or Byzantine authorities. As a result, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church developed its own unique theological interpretations, free from the political pressures that shaped Western Christianity. The Ethiopian Bible, containing between 81 and 88 books, compared to the 66 books of the Western Protestant Bible, reflects a more inclusive and comprehensive understanding of Christian scripture. This isolation allowed the Ethiopian Church to preserve ancient teachings that Western Christianity discarded in its quest for conformity and control. The preservation of these ancient texts is an act of defiance. At a time when the rest of the Christian world was bowing to political and doctrinal pressures, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church stood firm. Its commitment to safeguarding what it knew to be sacred, even in the face of colonization and cultural erasure, is deeply inspiring. In a world where so much of history has been rewritten by the victors, the Ethiopian Bible stands as a symbol of resistance and truth. As we move into the 15th century, the age of exploration brought European colonizers to the far reaches of the globe, spreading a version of Christianity that had been shaped to serve their interests. The King James Bible, published in 1611, was a product of its time, crafted to align with the political and theological priorities of a European monarchy. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian Bible preserved the full scope of ancient scripture, untouched by the hands of colonial editors. It is no wonder, then, that the Ethiopian Bible was seen as a threat, a challenge to the carefully constructed narrative of European Christianity. Colonialism didn't just bring Christianity, it brought oppression and cultural domination. The Ethiopian Bible, with its inclusion of texts like the Book of Enoch and Jubilees, was too radical, too foreign, too African for the colonial agenda. European powers sought to erase these versions of Christianity, replacing them with a Bible that emphasized European supremacy and the divine right of kings. The spread of colonial Christianity sidelined indigenous traditions and, in some cases, outright suppressed them. Yet, Ethiopia remained defiant. It was never colonized, and its religious and cultural heritage remained intact. The Ethiopian Bible stood as a beacon of resistance, preserving the truth in the face of overwhelming pressure. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of the Ethiopian Bible is its depiction of biblical figures with dark skin. In a world where Western art has overwhelmingly portrayed Jesus, Mary, and the apostles as white, the Ethiopian Bible offers a striking contrast. Jesus is depicted as black, as is the Virgin Mary and many of the prophets. These depictions are not merely artistic choices, but profound theological statements. In the Western tradition, religious figures have been shaped to reflect the culture and power of white Europeans. But in Ethiopia, biblical figures are shown as they likely were, people of African and Middle Eastern descent. This is not just about skin color. It is about reclaiming the narrative. It is about saying, "This is our story too." For centuries, Black Christians have been told that they are on the margins of biblical history. The Ethiopian Bible challenges this notion, placing Black people at the very heart of the Christian story. This is a revolution of identity. For African Americans and others of African descent, seeing Jesus as a man of color is a powerful reminder that their heritage is not peripheral to Christianity. It is central to it. The Ethiopian Bible calls us to question everything we thought we knew about the foundations of Christianity. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about how history has been shaped, who has been included, and who has been erased. But more than that, it offers a vision of Christianity that is richer, deeper, and more inclusive than the one we have been taught. It is a call to rediscovery, to embrace the full scope of Christian history, with all its diversity, complexity, and power. The question that remains is this: what will we do with this knowledge? Will we continue to accept the sanitized, Eurocentric version of the Bible? Or will we embrace the full richness of the Ethiopian Bible, with its ancient wisdom and inclusive vision of faith? The Ethiopian Bible has been waiting for us, a hidden treasure finally coming to light. It is time to open its pages and discover the truths that have been buried for far too long. This is more than a story about a book. It is a story about identity, about reclaiming what has been lost, and about redefining what it means to be a follower of Christ. The truth is there, if we are brave enough to face it.